Welcome to another episode of Kiss My Assets.
The transparency, the openness, the communication is more than you could expect. I'm sold.
Don't let the fact that you don't know something or don't know enough about something hold you back.
I knew I wanted to invest. What better way to invest than to invest in what I already know that I love, which is real estate.
It was initially the 12% return, but it quickly turned into the people.
Well, hello and welcome back to another episode of Kiss My Assets. My name is Bella Hoffman and I am in investor relations, joined by Amanda here. And then also we have a lovely guest joining us, Mr. Chad Gillund, he's joining us from Oklahoma, and he is one of our out-of-state investors into the NV REIT. And he's going to be joining us today, and we're going to be asking him some questions about his experience in investing, but also why he chose Neighborhood Ventures when choosing where to invest, with us being out of state and our multifamily REIT. Amanda, I'll go ahead and get started.
Sounds good.
Chad, can you just go ahead and briefly introduce yourself? What do you do? What is your background in real estate investing? And how did you find out about Neighborhood Ventures?
I'm just in corporate America I've been in like technical background for most of my working career. I actually have no background in real estate whatsoever. We started doing stock investing when that became easier to do. And then I learned about crowdfunding real estate 5 years ago. 5 years ago, and I started looking into it and different companies. That's how I ended up doing this.
How did you hear about us?
Google search.
Google.
I heard about crowdfunding real estate investing, and I did a Google search, and there were 2 or 3 companies that came up, and Neighborhood Ventures was one of them.
That's
Wow.
awesome.
Well, we could thank Amanda for that. She's on the marketing team, so I'm
That's
glad we
right.
found you.
I post things on Google, but what made us stand out compared to some of those other companies?
Mostly the selling job that you did. I watch. You have way more online content than most of the other companies. So it's easy to keep up with what's going on with the company. You also have a lot of good videos out there to help you learn more about real estate investing. So that's what's mainly got me into it. And then my brother lives out there, so it was a little bit easier to understand the company from there.
Did you know much about real estate beforehand, before making an investment with us, or did you learn mainly from our content?
I did not know anything about real estate investing before. In fact, we're actually thinking about expanding into real estate. So
Okay.
it's all been from watching videos and mainly your content. So because you've got a lot of content out there.
We
And
do. And I think
I have a lot of free time during the day. So
well, yeah, I'm so glad you were able to view that. I think that's one thing that's just lovely about our Learn portion of our website. There's different platforms, there's different ways to view the educational content. I mean, whether you want to just listen while you're in the car, whether you want to sit down and watch a video, there's different formats for everyone because everyone learns in different ways. So I think that's awesome that you can, attest to that there's great content with Neighborhood Ventures online.
I just keep an earbud in while I'm doing my work. So I listen to a lot of podcasts.
Good multitasking.
I love that.
So with that being said, you've watched a lot of our content. You're an investor with us. What stands out about the experience with Neighborhood Ventures, whether it be like the easiness of using the platform, the convenience, what sticks out to you?
How friendly everybody is to work with, because I've had a lot of questions. I've had a lot of questions that have been answered either via email or responding. You guys respond even to like messages that I put on the different podcasts. Put a comment on the podcast, you respond to those too. So
that's how we found you.
Just the easy workability with getting questions answered, and everybody seems honest, because I've actually dealt with some other companies, and they did not they did not seem honest. So that's why I've mainly shifted to neighborhood ventures.
Awesome. We appreciate that.
Yeah.
And that's
we do.
definitely one of our goals is like very clear transparency.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Definitely. With you being out of state, just falling back on one more question, with you being out of state, obviously you learned a lot about us and our company through our content. Did you also look elsewhere to research what was going on in the Phoenix multifamily market? Or was it really just based on the company? Like, where did you find out if Phoenix, like, what made you feel confident that Phoenix was a great market for the multifamily
I had
growth?
actually thought about getting into Phoenix before when the housing market crashed in Phoenix, and the prices went way down on a lot of properties. My brother's lived out there for since like 2005 or something like that. So I got a lot of information from him, and then I started looking into it. And it just seems like a good market to get into, especially now with all the transplants that are coming into the state, because your economy is growing quite a bit there.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, we just did a podcast on that yesterday with all the
Yeah.
big things coming
I haven't
here.
seen that one yet.
Yeah, it'll be out this Sunday, I think, but we have a huge resort coming with all the different amenities right next to the State Farm Stadium where Super Bowl was held this past year. So that, between that and then companies moving here, chip plants, it's just skyrocketing.
Yeah. And especially love the term you use, transplants, because we feel everyone coming in.
Yeah.
And we want that growth, but
Yeah.
you feel it.
Yes.
Did you do any research and evaluate the potential of the market and property from a distance?
As much as I could, yeah. I mean, it's all online information that I'm getting, and then just like I said, word of mouth and watching how the economy is growing there. You guys are mostly focusing on Arizona right now. I think you have the opportunity in the future, from what I've heard, to go into other states, but they're all states that I would be okay investing in too. So
Perfect.
The Sun Belt region.
The Sun Belt, Mountain West.
Mountain West.
that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
John kind of talked about it in the live stream a few weeks ago.
All growing economies.
Exactly. Places
Yeah.
people want to go, people want to move. And then it's just making sure we have the right foothold. So when we grow there, it's at the right pace that we want. Or like right now, we have all of our construction teams, property management here. So got to build those connections.
We'll get there.
Yep.
Like, what advice would you give to those that are on the edge about starting, whether it be with neighborhood ventures or just investing in general? What advice would you give to them?
Baby steps. Do baby steps. I started doing. We've always had retirement accounts. So my wife and I have been married for 29 years. So we've been investing in 401ks for. I mean, that's investing, right? So we've been investing in that for our whole life. We just started expanding. We did Ross. So we started investing monthly into Ross, started investing in the stock market when that got easier. Now we're expanding into real estate. This is the easiest way to get your toes wet in real estate, because you don't actually have to invest a lot of money at the beginning. You can learn how to do it in baby steps. So I don't know how much people are aware, but I mean, you couldn't invest in neighborhood ventures until the end of last year, unless you were local. So I think it was toward the end of last year, right?
Yep.
When NV REITs started. So before that, I don't know if it was one of your podcasts or I was just, because I'd learned about crowdfunding. So I was looking at crowdfunding sites. There's national crowdfunding sites. So you guys made a couple of your investments available through either small change or I don't remember which one, because there's a couple that I have stuff in. So that's how I originally got started with you guys. And then NV REIT made it a whole lot easier to invest. So we started investing in chunks, and then earlier this year, you made it to where we could do like so much a month and
Auto
just come
invest.
to our checking account. So auto invest. So it's just like our Ross. We just do that now every month, and it's just made it a whole lot easier.
Right. And highlighting what you said about being able to just start somewhere, even if you don't know much. I think that's one thing that's great about us is that you get to play a part in multifamily real estate while being hands hands off. You're not the one making the decisions, but also you're watching us make the decisions, and that might help you later in the future if you do decide to make an investment and be hands on with your investment. So it is a great place to start. And then, like you said, those ways of adding to your investment really do make it accessible to everyone and allow them to choose, how far they want to go with it. And along with auto invest, there's reinvest where you're compounding, and those ways are really great ways to see how you can start small and have it grow big. But I feel like the longer you wait, like the more it's going to take. So sometimes you just got to go for it.
Yeah. And I'll say my favorite part about the auto invest feature is like $100 a month. It's harder to miss that than like thinking of $1,000 out of my savings account, because it's just like,
$1,000 down and $100 a month. That's
exactly
pretty much anybody can afford that. So
definitely. And it makes a big difference. I mean, when using the $1,000 example, I explain to people that you're essentially purchasing a share per month, and you look 5 years down the road, you've added 60 to your initial 10 with the REIT specifically. And that right there is just, those are much bigger numbers.
And it really does compound. It compounds no matter what you do. I mean, the stock market, I invest mostly in dividend stocks. So we just reinvest dividends. You can do the same thing with neighborhood ventures with the NV REITs. So, or with any of the neighborhood ventures, you can reinvest your money in that. It works the same as the stock market does. So it's pretty comfortable to do.
So if you could go back and do something differently in relation to life and investing, what would it be?
I would have read Rich Man, Poor Man about 30 years ago.
Wow.
and learned all about having cash flow. So if I would have learned about cash flow 30 years ago, I'd be in a totally different world right now.
Yeah, he's a very educational guy, Robert.
Yeah.
Kawasaki. Yeah, we actually go to the same gym out here. He's a local, and he's just phenomenal, and he's so humble too. I mean, he'll talk to people. He has raving fans all around that still sometimes don't realize that they've gone to the same gym for years, but he's a great author, great person.
Wonderful. I always keep that book by me.
We had like 40, and we realized, we've been saving for retirement. What about before retirement? What are we going to do before retirement? Because we're just stuck working a day-to-day job. We don't have any kind of other income coming in until we hit 59 and a half. So that's when we started diversifying.
Did you think that it was important to find trust in our founders, Jamison and John, before making investments? Did you watch the masterclass or read about them at all?
I've watched all their videos, and they seem like great guys. Obviously, I've not made it to any open houses or anything, but they seem like great guys. They're very easy to trust, especially when you're watching the quarterlies and all the information that's given out during the videos that are out there.
Right. I think that's also something that I talk a lot with prospects about is they're like, what are the risks? Because there's always going to be risk involved when you invest. That's some part of it that comes with it. But especially with a hands-off investment, you need to trust the company that's behind these decisions that we're making with your investment, essentially. And if you don't have that trust, then, it's probably not the best fit. But not only does our site provide the information to gain that trust, but also just how welcoming John and Jamison are to speak with investors is something that goes a long ways. And then that second portion of the risk, associated with investing outside of the company, trusting your company, is just knowing the market and researching the market where you're making those investments. And as we talked about, and as it's just continuing to grow here in Arizona.
That's a big, huge plus for investing with your company.
Do you have any advice for people who are potentially looking at investing with neighborhood ventures?
Just go out there and look at all the free information that's out there. You can access everything on the website except for account information. So there's information on all the properties out there, very detailed information. And then you can go to YouTube, and there are tons and tons of videos from Neighborhood Ventures. And once you look at one, more of them pop up, and there's just a lot of good information out there. You can get very comfortable with the company real fast.
Awesome. Thank you.
Definitely. Well, thank you so much, Chad, for being on the podcast today. It's great that you are one of our first out-of-state investors to just share your testimonial, but also give some advice to those that are hesitant out there. And we really appreciate you being on. Do you have anything else to say before we wrap things up?
No, I appreciate it. No, it's been a great adventure so far. We're going in on 3 years. I can't remember when we started, 2 or 3 years ago. Small investments, but it's adding up real quick. So just if you don't think it works, try it and see it. It adds up pretty quick. It's like anything else. It keeps compounding. So
Yes. Well, if you are ever in Arizona, it doesn't necessarily have to be Phoenix, but if you're passing through and you ever want to stop by, don't hesitate to stop by the office if you're out here visiting your brother. We always love to meet our investors. We have great coffee here, and especially for being a guest on our podcast, we would love to treat you.
well, one of these days I'll make it to an open house too.
Yes. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. If only you can make it to the Flagstaff one, that's going to be beautiful.
Yeah.
Is
Better
it?
weather.
It
Yeah.
the property looks nice. So
Yes. Well, thank you again, Chad. We wish you a great rest of your week, and we'll stay in touch with you virtually. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out.
all right, thank you.
All right. Thank you so much.
Have a
And for
great day.
podcast listeners, thanks for joining. We'll see you soon.